What is going on, guys, and welcome to another video. Today we are here with TSRL Britain, the first round of the season, and I was feeling quite confident actually. I did a bit of off season, I guess you could call it. Found some pace here at Britain. I did a PSGL PC race here at Britain, which I'm going to be honest threw me off a little bit because there's quite a lot of input delay on Xbox, which I wasn't really used to, so I was probably about a tenth off really where I really wanted to be in qualifying. But as you can see, quali has begun off wet, and yeah, here we are now trying to get into Q2, because remember it is a full qualifying format. Trying to get into Q2, we're just doing a good lap straight away, so we did a 34.8 banker just to kind of find our feet. And now this lap is going to be hopefully good enough to get us through, because you don't ever leave it to the end of the session in Q1, because you're just putting unnecessary pressure on yourself. As we go purple in the first sector, about 10.5 clear of the P1 time at the moment. Don't forget to like and subscribe, of course, put post notifications on. Yeah, if you enjoy the video, like it. But yeah, we're about 3.5 temps up now, and going into cops in the rain is a bit of a lift. I could rant a lot about the wet in this game, but I'm not going to. Yeah, we are about 5 temps up, so this is looking to be an alright lap so far. We are 2.5 temps up on the P1 time, I believe. So it's looking decent so far. We just need to get this in, and this should probably be enough Q2. So yeah, I practice a lot in the dry, mainly on PC for, as I said, the PSGL race, and that's a whole other story. I may upload that, I may not. Get a bit of wheel spin out final corner, but we go P1, provisional P1, and that should safely get us through. Yeah, on PC in the dry, I was looking really good.
Right, I'm gonna have to turn chat off. My phone's
but on Xbox, not quite as good, mainly because I'm gonna be honest, the input lag. If you don't know, there's like you'd have to play both the consoles to understand really what I'm on about. But when you turn on Xbox, there's a bit of a delay, and I was really struggling to basically hit any of the apexes. I know it sounds like I'm making excuses, but that's just what was happening. But I was quickly getting used to it again, and it wasn't that big of a problem in the end, and for the race it wasn't really a problem at all. But in Q2 again, it is wet again, and it is drying out a bit, as we need to get a lap in, because we're currently in P6. We're not safe at all.
Not as good as last lap.
And our previous lap, I believe, was invalidated, and it would have been good enough for probably top 3 in Q2, which should have been safely through. Yeah, as you can see, we're 3 temps up, but we're losing the rear end a little bit with current laps of 34.5, so we're not even as quick as we were in Q1. We're really struggling with the car. The Inter's started to overheat about now, which was a kind of big problem. And yeah, we're apparently going purple through the middle sector. You can see the 90 degrees on the rear left. That is way too hot.
Badly.
And we're going to struggle in this final sector. We just need to get a lap in though, because once again we're not really safe. Currently in P7 now. And again, 3.5 temps up, going into the final corner.
Yeah, I'm losing the rear.
And hook it up quite nicely, but there's just no rear grip, as you can see, and we're just losing time. We lose about 2 temps, over 2 temps in that final corner.
Over 2 temps in the final corner.
And we are currently in P6 now, and that is going to be putting us on the cusp. And as you can see, the tyres were done.
Yeah, I'll be P10. Is there anyone else who can improve?
It did dry out in the end, and we were going to go on soft. We were going to be P1 in Q2.
But
crucially, I backed off here because I worked out that I would still get into Q3 even if I didn't set the time. And if I did set the time, I would have to start on those tyres, which is something I didn't want to do. Now moving on to Q3, we have done a 23.9 banker lap, which was very bad, but the track was still a bit greasy. I guess you could say it was kind of weird going straight from wet to dry. But it wasn't like 100% bone dry yet. As you can see, it's still overcast, which is a bit off-putting. But so far, it's been a good sector 1. I think it's going to be a 0.5 first sector, which is good, I'd say. Yeah, so that's positive. But going into Brooklands here, we just go in too deep. We don't have the grip, and that doesn't look too bad. But it's just too deep, and that just ruins this corner. And as you can see, we're only 2 temps up on a 23.9. I think our PB was about 0.3, 0.2 on PC, 0.3 on Xbox. But we were doing consistent 0.4s, so we're losing a bit of the rear end there. So we really need to be about half a second up by the end of this lap. We're only 2.5 temps up. We take Maggots and Beckett's quite nicely. We gained a bit of time, but I was really quite disappointed to see we're only 2 and a bit temps up.
So
yeah,
bad.
as you can hear there, I was just saying it was so bad because it just was. There's no other way of putting it. Using 5th at Stowe, you shouldn't be doing that, but I was just understeering. And we're just losing even more time. We take the final corner awfully. We miss the apex. The final chicane even awfully. We miss the apex. We don't even gain any time. And as you can see, that's a 23.678, and that, to be honest with you, is shocking. So I had to go for it again. I had to go on about 102 degree tyres. It might even be more than that. And if you start the lap on about 88 degrees tyres, your tyres can overheat. So if we're on 102, our tyres are surely going to overheat, as we are currently down. And but I just had to send it because I know there's so much time in the lap, but the tyres are really going to be the punishing factor as we hook up Brooklyn's nicer or better than before. And as you can see, we gain a bit of time there, but still the tyres just don't allow us to get on the traction as early as we'd like. And we are basically even with our time now, so luckily the tyres, because it was overcast, I think didn't quite get as hot as I thought they would. But still it wasn't very good because a lot of them, they were over 100 degrees, which when you're over about 98, personally I feel like you're going to be getting a lot of oversteer and a lot of loss of traction. But as you can see, coming through Maggots and Beckett's, we are up just about. We're only 300ths off at 23.4 from Jakey B. So if we have a good last sector, we could maybe do something. But get a decent stone, not great. I thought I'd gain more time there because I used 5th last time. Through the final 2 corners now, the tyres are really starting to struggle here. And we don't really gain any time, and it's a 23.5, an improvement, but as you can see there, we were 4,000ths off 3rd and 300ths off 2nd, so realistically I think we should have been P2, but I know everyone said there's always time in people's laps, but I think we could have even challenged for pole if we just nailed it properly, because Jake did a pretty good lap, and if we were anywhere near that, anywhere near our best, we could have got near that. So it's really quite unfortunate, but now we just got to focus on the race. We're in P5 on the medium of tyre, of course, so luckily we didn't complete that lap, otherwise we'd have to start on the soft. But yeah, we are in P5 and we just need a good start. We need to gain positions quickly so we can fight for the lead of this race and hopefully start TSRL off in a good manner. So it's lights out. It was quite a short light. It says compared to Anton, we don't get a good start, but McCabe Sam gets an awful start comparatively, and we do get into P4 just about. Yeah, we consolidate that position very nicely. But you will notice something. My ERS is currently on, and I didn't realise this time it is on, but we'll move on to that shortly. But now having a little look at Ron Harbour, we're not really too close. I wanted to get past him as soon as I could because I want to be in the fight with Antoine and Jake, the 2 leaders, because I know those are going to be the pace, or the benchmark, basically, this race, and the pace setters. So here we're going for a move, potentially on Ron. We're going to have a look at the inside. I thought I'd then put it into overtake, but we were in overtake the whole time. Having a look on the inside, we can't quite get it done. But as you can see in the bottom right now, we have run out of ERS, and that is going to put us in a whole world of trouble. And at this stage of the race, I thought I just messed it up and used too much.
I used up too much of my ERS already.
As you can hear there, I just thought I used up too much of it. And Viper is just going to absolutely fly by us.
Used up too much ERS.
Which was really quite unfortunate, but that, compared to what's about to happen, isn't very unfortunate at all. There's a bit of a gap behind, but
move way too early.
We just need to try and focus now. That's what I was thinking, and try and gain some positions. But as you can see, DRS is not enabled. ERS, however, is on, and we get a snap through there. And I was
what the fuck is going on?
I was so confused what was happening, and it wasn't until a little bit later I realised that the ERS is still on, and I in fact couldn't turn it off. I had the ERS glitch.
What is going on?
As you'll be about to hear.
Christ. That's not been a great... Oh. Wait, my overtake won't turn off. What?
No, you're still this. Oh.
It won't disable? Oh. What?
That's fucking glitch is still there. Fucking hell.
Do I have to leave?
I don't know.
It won't,
I
it just
don't
won't...
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
I literally can't turn it off. Oh my god.
Yeah, and as you can hear, I was
Yeah, I
almost
don't
in
know
shock. I
about
didn't even
that
know
one.
this glitch was in the game, but apparently it's been here since
It
day
won't
one, so
turn off.
GG Cody's. And yet again, we have been ruined, because the only way I think to fix this is by leaving the session. And in leagues of the past, it wouldn't be that bad if I left the session, really, because you've got 100% AI usually, not 110, just 100, which is still decent enough, so you don't lose too many positions. But in this league, I believe that AI is very low. I'm not sure. I think it's about 40. Someone said. As I'm just trying to do anything to get this thing working, trying disabling and enabling my wheel
I'm
settings.
gonna
It's
have to
still
leave. Oh my god.
it's still not working. So
How am I gonna get invite back?
yeah, I was gutted to be honest, because even in the position we were in, where we screwed up qualifying.
How am I gonna get invite back?
I just invited you, Joe.
We would still be in the fight for the lead, because I think we could have got past Ron Hire if we had the
I
ERS.
think my card.
And yeah, we would have been in the 2-car fight for the lead then. As we join back, and we are in P13, and I didn't really want to think at this stage, but I kind of knew this was race over. There is not going to be much we can
What
do.
a
It's all about damage
fantastic game.
limitation at this stage. So we're just going to have to drive the wheels off the car
You just gotta try
to
something.
try and even get points. As we're currently only P10, and that's after I think a few people pitted.
I think we could possibly get away with 60 here on top.
As
I
on
mean,
lap 12 now, we're
that's
trying to get past Oxtez in front.
Obviously.
Gonna be
And it sounds as
more
if
than
the
second
commentary is a
right
bit
now.
depressing. That's
It
because
depends if it's gonna be
it kind of
out.
just sums up the mood I was in at this stage.
Yeah.
I was pretty glum, to be honest.
It's gonna be at least
uh,
1 second per lap. So
Morose, I guess you could say.
depends when they whip it.
But yeah, we straight away though, after we were released from Oxtez, we go do the fastest lap of the race. I think that just backs up the kind of the pace we had,
Actually, I see
which was quite good. And now going into the pit lane,
What's pitted?
P9 lap 13.
Yeah,
Me.
it's
I
all
was
good.
hopefully going for the undercut, because this is quite early. This is very early, in fact. But I think a lot of people kind of in the same boat trying to just get an undercut, and
I'll just...
I didn't show you the whole pit stop like I usually do, because it's just such a long pit stop here at Britain. I wish the speed limit was 50 and they just moved the start finish straight a bit further down the Hamilton straight now, because that would make strategies a whole lot more viable. You just wouldn't spend half the time in the pit lane as you would otherwise. But yeah, now lap 16, we've coursed up to the back of Shazoo Dominic, who is just about on the rear end of the train. And as you can see, we haven't got a lot of ERS at all. And he's not going to really make it easy for us. This is a driver who, I think it's fair to say, doesn't like losing positions, and he will fight tooth and nail. There's a bit of contact ahead, and McCabe Sam dives into the pit lane, quite literally. And we had to hesitate a little bit, so there's no move able to happen there. As we use a bit of our overtake to have a look on Dominic, but he just decides to use some, so we can't go for the move there. As we're just trying to line it up now, as he goes a bit deep into turn 3, and in the loop now we've got the outside line, but we're just losing the rear end up there. The soft tyre was very nice at this stage of the race, but because we pitted lap 13, we've got to do 13 laps on the softs, which is I think more than the recommended time you can do on them. As Dominic goes a bit deep, we try and go round the outside. This might be one of the only few good overtakes we can do this race. We go round the outside of Luffield and use a bit of our overtake, and that is us into P10 now. So yeah, we are technically now scoring a point, but now we need to catch up Raceway before the pack can get away from us, because the rest of the guys are on softs, I believe. And because we pitted quite early, our softs are going to be quite bad compared to theirs, even at this stage. So we need to try and get past him ASAP. We're in his DRS. He just has a DRS on the car in front, but I think he is actually out of the DRS zone now, which is not good, because we're going to have to catch back into that. So we are half a second behind Raceway, and yeah, I'm not gonna lie, watching this back is making me quite glum again, quite sad, to be honest. So yeah, is what it is though. We can't really change anything from this stage. We just got to try and reduce any of the as much of the damage as possible. As Raceway goes a bit deep into turn 3, and that sets us up nicely for the loops to get a good exit. He's using up our ERS, and this is going to be an easy move. But as you can see, we've only got about 20%, and the gap to the train in front is about 1.5 seconds. So we're really going to have to get a shift on. We're really going to have to push and hopefully get in the DRS, because the DRS is absolutely everything here. Because once you're in the DRS, you can save ERS, save everything, and you get pulled along. But as you can see, we're on 2% battery. We are literally thousandths away from the DRS. Coming out of this last corner, or not last corner, chapel, we're actually less than a second behind the car in front. But during the detection point, we weren't. And as you can see, we have 2% ERS. And I think that is going to seal our fate if these guys don't stop battling, because we have nothing to fight with now. We've used everything to try and get in the DRS. And as you can see there, we're oversteering now. The tyres are starting to go off. We put everything into getting into the DRS, but we just didn't quite do it, quite unluckily.
Let's go see if he's got any pace, because I think he put a lap.
On lap 24 now, the tyres, they were gone. There's no other way of putting it, they were gone.
Our tyres are
having to push more because we haven't got DRS.
49.
And pitting earlier, they were just done. So I decided to let Logic in the McLaren pass to see if he can maybe catch the cars in front in case there are penalties.
That's when these tyres.
Because he also had a stop go, and mainly because I couldn't be asked to drive. That's the honest truth. So yeah, now moving on to the final lap.
Even overtake this guy now.
We are behind Logic. We using the overtake, but it doesn't really matter if we get the move. He has a stop go penalty, and we're not going to be close enough. Maybe could have dived it, but there's just no point because we're going to get the position anyway on countback. So that is that for TSRL Britain, the opener, probably my strongest track of the season. And yeah, we finished P9 in the end. I know it says P11. I think it will say P11 on the top left there, but that's because we left. The timing kind of glitches.
Apparently I finished P11.
So we are actually P9.
The timing's all glitched.
And yeah, 14 seconds off the lead in the end, and we just lost so much time because we had to leave the session and the ERS glitch, which is really quite disappointing. So yeah, that's going to wrap that up, and hopefully next week we could have a bit of a better race. Make sure you do follow me on Twitch, because that's where I stream my races, twitch.tv, I can't remember what it's called, but it's in the description down below. So click there, Fridays 8 PM I'll be live. And yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.